You're looking at a typical Brisbane home, suburban, high set, brick, chamfer on top. And how would you go about treating that for external spiders, Brett?
Okay, Nev, upon inspection of the home, what I've noticed on the left-hand side of the house, you can see it's like a chamfer or weatherboard wall construction. I've noticed that there's quite a considerable amount of webbing spider activity on the weatherboards there. So I'd elect to do a complete wall treatment of that area there. Now I'd target around the windows, the doors, the eaves, the fascia, the guttering.
Brett, on this particular house, you've done an excellent treatment externally. You see there's a single garage there with a tilt door. Would you always look in there maybe to include it in your spider application?
Yes, Nev, I'd always open the garage door up and check that the internals of the garage, the reverse side of the door too. Certainly often spiders could be harboured on the door itself. I mean, typically the owner's car is probably likely to be parked in the garage, so I'd ask them to remove that so I can get in there and inspect thoroughly, and so I could treat the garage area wherever I may see any webbing spider activity. But I'd obviously ask the owner to remove the car to avoid any drift onto the car in that sort of situation.
Just a question for you, Brett, on this particular place, would you do that without power gear?
Look, for me, I like to use power gear. It gives me a consistent pressure. Often I only have to fill up my tank once. I mean, the externals of that home area there, it's difficult for me to see the complete size of that home, but volumes of insecticide used on an average size home, you might, in that sort of situation, this house, perhaps 15 litres may be used. And again, most hand tanks don't carry that volume or size. So if I have power equipment, it allows me to get in and treat the complete place without having to refill, and it allows me to have a constant pressure to treat the home as well.
I've done a lot of spider work, as you know, and I couldn't wait to get my first power gear, to be quite honest. To me, it does a better treatment. You mentioned pressure, constant pressure, which is very, very important. Using a hand tank, I think, is only useful for spot treating spiders. If you've got to use any sort of volumes at all, from 15 litres upward, I think power gear is absolutely essential. You can select the correct nozzles, you don't necessarily waste chemical. Extensions are very important. The selection of nozzles is very important. And to me, power gear it's the best gear you can consider for spider control. I wouldn't be in pest control without having power equipment for spider control.
Some of the houses that we've outlined today, what sort of volumes of insecticide would you be using to treat the externals of the home for webbing spiders?
Well, the ones we've looked at, Brett, I feel we've gone from about 10 litres to maybe 30 litres, the maximum. If you get a veranda, a home with verandas right around it, it's not lined, you can use much more chemical in those situations, but on an average anywhere between 15 and 30 litres you can do an excellent external spider treatment.
Yep, great.